This is a story about a magical place where everything's amazing, especially the people. We can tell you
Hey
everything
guys,
there is to know about over
hold on one second. All right, so we're just goofing around again with the OBS streaming software. I did get a hold of the other company, the software that I was using, and had a talk with them, and just decided to not use them anymore. So we'll see what happens. Like I say, yesterday was kind of a messed up day for me. I was working a lot on the Coturnix Corner community website, and that ran a little bit long. So I got most of my work done today a little bit early, so I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and go live real quick just to let you guys know what's going on, and maybe take a few questions over in the chat room. Let me see, get this set up here. See, we do got a few people checking in already. I'm still trying to figure out the software, guys, so you have to forgive me on if I mess up some stuff. Main thing I want to get is where I can put the comments on the channel or on the screen, and I've actually got that. Hey, Anita, glad you could join us. I also want to work on this. Will probably be later this week. I'm going to see if I can't find a couple people willing to come on, and we'll do a private live stream. Just so I can figure out how to bring guests into this thing. And the last time I used OBS, we had a real bad issue with pixelation. If I moved my hand, it kind of left a trail, and that looked really terrible. So I think we've got that straightened out. And from what I can tell, it looks pretty decent on my end. You guys let me know how it sounds, if you would, and also image quality. I'm looking at it over on the other computer, and it looks okay to me, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. But yeah, just like I say, things have been really busy around here. I'm going through and culling a bunch of my older birds, projects that I was working on before that haven't been going the way I wanted them to, so I'm going to go ahead and just cull those lines out, and I'm going to concentrate on a jumbo farrow line that I got from Anita Garrett, and that, and I was lucky. Thanks, David, appreciate that. Looks and sounds good. Okay, thanks, Carrie, Samantha, yeah, everybody that said that. Looks and sounds good. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and concentrate on, like I say, the jumbo farrow lines. I want to keep them up to the standards of Anita Garrett and John Garrett. Just because, you know, they would expect that. There's only going to be two people that are officially carrying that line, and that's me and Rebecca Lynch of Thieving Outer Farms. But also, I'm working with the red pansies. That line is actually coming along really well. I got really lucky on this last hatch, and I got 2 red pansy roosters, which I've been having a lot of trouble getting for some reason. I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of playing the numbers, and I finally got lucky and got a couple roosters. So hopefully we'll have some of those available maybe late fall. I'm thinking I got to go through. I still got a lot of work to do on the website. You know, it's really stinks, guys, because I got so far behind. At the beginning of the year, I had all these great plans that I was going to incorporate into Coturnix Corner, as far as, you know, the website, Gulf Coast Quail. I was going to offer hatching eggs, and things just didn't work out the way I planned. I had some health issues, but for right now, everything seems to be going pretty good. We're going to go ahead and see if we can't get, you know, a decent line of jumbo farrows hatching eggs that we'll be selling, and then also the red pansies, and maybe 1 or 2 other projects that I'm going to start working on later this summer. But as far as around here, guys, it's been hot. I mean, like 95 to 97 degrees every day. with a heat index of 100 to 105 to 110. And I actually got my air conditioner fired up in the shop for the first time since, well, not last week. I started using the air conditioner, but and even that little air conditioner, it's only a 5K unit, and it's having a hard time keeping. There's the tumbler. I just haven't, it hasn't been engraved yet, but yeah, somebody will get a tumbler. So comment in the chat room if you want hatching eggs or if you want the tumbler. Comment, and then we'll go ahead and select a couple people later on tonight. So if there's anything that you guys, any questions that you might have, go ahead and throw them in the comment section. Like I say, I'm still trying to get used to putting comments on the board. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't do it from this computer, but I should be able to do it from that computer. What happened here? Why am I not getting it? Hold on, guys. This is exactly why I wanted to test this out again. Okay, get over the You know, everything has to happen when you're live. All right, now I got that on that computer. Let me copy it off of this one. Like I say, guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them now in the chat room. We'll jump over there, take a few questions. It probably won't go too late tonight, just because I'm so unorganized. And when I'm unorganized and things aren't going right, I just call things quit real early. All right, now if I did that right, we should. All right, we got comments. All right, cool. I got to remember that once I go live, I got to make sure that pop-out chat is up and ready to roll. Like I say, this is totally new software for me. I have basically no idea on how to use it. I'm just kind of comparing what I did with the old software to this one. It's a little bit different. Well, actually, it's quite a bit different, but we'll get it. All right, let me go ahead and get over here on this other computer. I really wish I could put it on this computer and see it, but I might be able to next time. All right, looks like Trucker Planet's in the house. Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone's doing great. Peggy Kitchen's in the house. Is good evening. Anita Garrett's in the house. Hello, everyone. Hope all is good. Hope you're doing well, Anita. Carrie Clinton says hi from California. David Smith's in the house. Says hello from Central Missouri. And David, by the way, I was able to save that last hive. It was crazy. I thought I was going to lose all my hives. I had one, which originally was my strongest hive, and I finally got into it after a few days. I still had, a lot of brood in there. I never had seen the queen, but I did see fresh eggs, so that's good. Let's see. Samantha's in the house. Says hello from Michigan. Hello, Samantha. Okay, a whole bunch of people saying looks and sounds good. Mama Huntress is in the house. Leah B. Tumblr. Oh, Leah B is in the house. Says Tumblr. Hazy Bee's Honey says Tumblr would be nice. Trucker Planet's in the house. Says I would really like some quail eggs. I have got to come up with something different as far as I like to look at this output stream. Yet I'm over on this computer doing the comments. Oh, well, we'll figure something out. Peggy says hatching egg. Underhill says I need more hatching eggs. I got one female full boys, female her the wing. Oh, that's no good. Let's see. Voodoo Kitchen Mama says hi everyone. I'm wondering why I got a white egg for my quail today. first white egg ever. They've always been normal. That happens every once in a while. You'll get a hen that the egg process, as it's going through the whole egg making machine, it skips the printer and doesn't get any ink. Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. She'll probably be back to laying normal eggs within a day or two. Jen Roslin's in the house. Says hello from Michigan. She would also like some hatching eggs. Shokipo, I don't know how to say that. Says hello from Louisiana. Glad you could join us. Paul's in the house. Says hello from Bedfordshire, UK. We're glad you could join us. Tony's in the house from Toronto. Glad you could join us tonight, Tony. Underhill says hi from Colorado. Oliver Cole says yay on the Hive. Yeah, that was pretty disheartening. For those of you who don't know, mosquito control sprayed. At least that's what I'm assuming happened. And 4 hives were affected. 3 of the hives actually were complete dead outs. They died on me. And the last hive I was able to save. So hopefully it'll come back strong, and I'll be able to do some splits before the end of summer. White Trim 1 says hello from New Mexico. Lifestyle of a Trucker says, how's it going? It's going good. Julie's in the house. So sorry I'm late. You're not really late, Julie. We are, it's an unscheduled live, so nobody knew about it, so I didn't expect very many people to show up. So Oliver Cole says, is this the new software? It is. So hopefully everything looks okay on your guys' end. I'm still playing with it and trying to figure out, how everything runs in this thing. See, Orlando says hello to everyone. What is the right calcium for quails? My incubator is in one room with more than 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So I wanted to know, not really. So I just want to know if not good for the incubation period. Well, as far as the incubator being in a 80-degree room, that's perfectly fine. That's gonna, your incubator is going to be up 99.5 anyhow. So that's fine. Just keep an eye on your humidity and make sure that it's not excessively high during the incubation period, the first 14 days. And as far as the calcium, if you're using a good feed, like a starter or game bird feed, from the day the chicks are born up until the time they start laying eggs, that should have the appropriate amount of calcium. And I want to say that's like 1.8, somewhere in that range. And then when you switch over to a layer feed, once they start laying, you want like 3 to 3.5% calcium. That's going to give you a good, hard eggshell. So as long as you're using a quality feed, like I use Kalmbach, and I haven't had any issues with the feed or with the calcium and the eggshells, you shouldn't have any problems. For the most part, commercial feeds have the appropriate amount of calcium that's needed. Lifestyle of the Trucker says, I'm a new hatcher. Cool. Okay, I gotta figure this out. That is real annoying. Reading Kitchen Mama says, okay, thanks. I was concerned. Bass in the house says, which Coturnix quail lay the biggest eggs? I've got some of my largest eggs from standard size quail. As far as color variety, it doesn't really matter. But, all my jumbos lay decent size eggs. And like I said, I've had some standards that will lay, 15, 16 gram eggs, which is a pretty good size egg. So yeah, it's almost something that you can breed for. If you're selective about the eggs that you're selecting, if you're selecting larger eggs, you're going to hatch out birds or hens that will most likely lay larger eggs. I myself don't try to get really, really large eggs, mainly because you can run into issues with your hens becoming prolapsed. and it can actually kill them. But two, as far as trying to put those big eggs in the incubator, most of the quail rails are sized for eggs that are a little bit smaller, like in the 14, 15 gram size. So that's what I select for. And I know a lot of breeders sell some pretty good size eggs. I mean, I know some of the eggs that I've got, from Michael Rose at Southwest Game Birds. There's been some pretty good size eggs. Same with even the eggs that I get from Anita Garrett. There was some good size eggs in there. So yeah, just breed for it. I wouldn't select a color variety just because you want a larger egg. Connor Green's in the house. Says hello from Tennessee. Lifestyle of a Turk says, is it okay to feed my quail with grass? Yeah, well, I mean that's not going to be a substantial diet for them. I mean, I don't know how healthy grass would be. I mean, when my birds are outside, yeah, they do pick at grass and whatnot if it gets into the aviary. But as far as going out and mowing the grass and taking clippings to feed to your indoor birds or even your quail that are outside, I don't think you're going to benefit from them. They might play around a little bit in it, but yeah, I wouldn't advise it as far as using that as a food supplement. Mary Howard's in the house. Says hi, Terry and everyone. Glad to be here today. Hi, Mary. Glad you made it today. I didn't have time to go through and post links in any of the groups, the Coturnix Corner community or any of the Facebook groups, just because this was a last minute thing. And I figure most people are going to get a notification on their, their phone or computer or whatever. So I'm glad you did make it, Mary. Here we go with that stupid thing. Tonio says, how far can one breed with one roux and 3 hens before you need new blood? Would like to be entered into the hatching eggs. Well, I mean, you've got 1 rooster and you've got 3 hens. So depending if all those 3 hens came from the same bloodline, and if that rooster also came from the same bloodline, then yeah, you might want to swap it out after a couple seasons. I wouldn't be breeding the siblings of them back together, especially if they're all from the same bloodline. Let's see, three hens. I'm trying to figure it. If they were 3 different bloodlines and 1 rooster was a different bloodline, you could probably go quite a ways because you're going to have 3 different intermixed bloodlines. That would take you for a while, but yeah, to be safe, I mean, I would at least every other year try to introduce some new blood if that's all the birds that you have. But like Michael Rose was saying, when they're doing specific testing on Coturnix in like laboratory settings, they actually breed a line for like up to 20 generations before they consider that line even qualified to be used in that testing environment. So, oh, I know it's another thing that just disappeared on me. Darn it! Oh no, they're working. I guess if you have a profile icon, it shows up. If you don't have one, then I just get a circle. Underhill says, I had such trouble with humidity in my cheap starter incubator. Maybe I need a better meter. The meter is only going to tell you what the gauge is. The hygrometer is only going to tell you what your humidity is in the incubator. If you've got a cheap incubator that isn't really good at holding humidity or being able to get the humidity up to where you want it or keep it down lower, you might consider investing in a little bit better grade incubator. But it is nice to have a decent hygrometer. I've got, well, these are some that I use. These are Therm Pros. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's got the temperature on the top and then the humidity percentage on the bottom. These work pretty good. I've actually tested the therm pros against my Barato incubators, and they're pretty much spot on. I did try the Gobies, and I'm not a big fan of those. Every Gobi that I had different readings. Let's see where we at here. It's Charlie says, how would I go about removing fee from pansy? There's a couple different ways you could do it. You could actually breed your pansies back to a standard pharaoh and then select the chicks from them that aren't showing the fee gene. Or if you've got a normal pansy rooster, or even a pansy hen, you can breed them together, because you're not going to get, if you've got a normal pansy, you're not going to get all pansy fees. So if it was me, I would just breed them back to a normal pharaoh and then go from there. Breed the chicks that you get back from that back to either each other or to a non-fee pansy. Backyard Quail Keeper says, hi guys, is it normal for quail to lay large jumbo size eggs on an odd occasion? Happened to me a few times now. Yes. I mean, I get some birds that, lay these big monsters every once in a while. And I've even got birds that have laid an egg inside an egg, a completely shelled egg inside an egg. So yeah, that's pretty strange. Bass or base. Yes, thank you, Terry. Absolutely. Oliver says, should we be asking to be entered for the prize during the stream? If so, I'd love to be. Yeah, just by commenting in the chat room, I already automatically, put you in the drawing. So let's see. Gary says, hi, Terry. How are your honeybees doing? Sorry about the hives that were lost. Like I said earlier, the remaining hive, which originally was my strongest hive, that hive's actually already been split prior to the poisoning. And the split in that hive were doing great. It's a double deep, so I had a really good population in it. Since the poisoning, I've only been in the hive once. I just wanted to check to make sure that there were signs of a queen, or if I could spot the queen. But there was a little bit of indication that they're still suffering from some of the poisoning, because I've seen some bees that are, just kind of walking around in circles, falling off the frames, for no reason. I've seen a lot of healthy bees in there too, but there's still some in there. And I think what's happening, those are the bees that were foragers, and they've probably gone out and were exposed to the poison. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to save the hive. I'm not going to go out and spend more money this year on replacement bees, because to me it's kind of stupid to go buy more bees and have the same thing happen. We're right in the middle of rainy season, so mosquito control is going to be spraying a lot. But I am on a call list now. I'm supposed to get either a text message or a call notifying me that within 24 hours they'll be spraying, and then that way I can cover the hives and hopefully keep them protected. So, but yeah, the last hive, like I say, if I can get it past the point, past the threat of being poisoned, I think they'll be okay. So, I mean, they're flying into the hive. I got foragers coming and going, so they're doing something. David says, how is the aviary working out for you? I built one based on it a couple months ago, and it's going gangbusters. Right now, my aviary is empty. I went through, and the birds that were out there were a little bit older, so I butchered most of them. And the ones that I decided to keep, brought them inside now. So the aviary is sitting out there empty, and it probably will be at least until the end of summer. Right now, it's just, like I said, it's way too hot. Yeah, I know the quail can handle the heat, but I can't handle being out there in 95, 97 degree heat, working with the birds. So BDH says, enter for hatching eggs, please. Not a problem. Trucker Planet says, everyone, please hit that like button. Leah B says, you mentioned the kids project last week. Are there any updates on that? Thank you. I am glad you brought that up, Leah, because I do have some updates that I was going to mention in the next live stream, which I didn't realize was going to be tonight. I'm having issues with sponsors committing. Like I say, I've got Hatching Time. They have committed to giving away a cage, and my egg supplier for hatching eggs has committed, 2 of them actually. But we're having a problem with the sponsor for the incubators. So until I can get committed sponsors that say, yeah, we will do this for a year, I'm not going to announce, any upcoming project giveaways. If the kids want to keep submitting their projects, they can do that, and I will hang on to those until we start going again. But it's just too hard for me to, 1 month I've got an incubator, the next month I don't. I'm running around pulling my hair out trying to find, somebody that's willing to, commit to doing this. So as soon as I get it straightened out, I promise I will get the show back on the road. What is the website to get NPIP certified? That would be poultryimprovement.org. If you go to Google and just do a Google search for NPIP, it'll come up. Collier's Custom Tackle says hi from Alabama. Good to join us. Mike's in House says good evening from Michigan. Underhill says, so how do you breed out a small population, parent, child, and generation 2? Well, you can always that's what I'm saying. Depending on how many different bloodlines you have in the parent bloodline. So say you've got a rooster from one bloodline and 3 or 4 hens from different bloodlines, then you don't have to worry about it so much. If the rooster and all the hens are from the same bloodline, you're going to start running into problems pretty quick. If the rooster and all the hens are from different bloodlines, so like say the rooster's from one bloodline, but all 3 of your hens are sisters, you can get away with a few generations just because of that rooster being a different bloodline. But what I would do is I wouldn't breed, in generation 2, I wouldn't breed brother to sister. I would probably take the hens and breed them maybe back to their father, especially if he's, a halfway decent one. But if all sisters, or if your first generation hens are different bloodlines from, different roosters or different mothers, then you'll be okay for a while. Trucker Planet says questions. For how long do you keep your breeder birds? For the most part, my hens are around for 10 to 12 months, about a year, if they're doing good. If they slow down, I call them out. And my roosters, about every 6 months, I like to replace them out, just because I like roosters that are, more sexually active. I know that they're breeding the hens, and it really helps with my my hatch rates and my fertility rates. Joy Guthrie's in the house. Says hello from Western Oregon. Glad you could join us tonight, Joy. Underhill says, yeah, I need to build my own incubator. Check out on the channel. There is a DIY incubator. Costs you about $100 to build. So it's funny because in the video I said it costs about $60 to build, but with the prices of everything going up, it's up to $100. So, but yeah, I mean, that's a really good box if you want to build it. I've still got one. Originally I built 4. I had one, the very first one, which is a prototype, and then I built 3 after that. 2 of them were incubators, 1 was a hatcher. I had given most of them away. I have 1 left out there. It's kind of collecting dust, but I like hanging on to it just because I know it's a good backup incubator or it's a good hatch box. Mary Howard says, I'm in Western Washington. Planning to hatch more birds very soon. Wish me luck. Absolutely. Good luck. Bob Wolf's in the house, is here in Gainesville. Glad you could join us, Bob. Oliver Cole says, how temperature tolerant are quail? They're very temperature tolerant. I mean, they will handle heat and they'll handle the cold. I lost my spot here. Yeah, what I wouldn't do is, like I say, I've got all my birds inside now, and they are in the air conditioning, so they're staying right around 80 degrees during the hottest part of the day. I wouldn't want to take them from that environment outside into my aviary with, outside temps right now. They're saying the heat index in the shade is like 105 to 110 degrees. That's pretty hot. So I don't want to, stress the birds out that much. But as far as if they are, they can handle the cold, I wouldn't worry about that. As long as they can get out of the wind and the rain or the wind and the snow, they're going to do fine. And heat, as long as they can get out of direct sunlight and maybe have some kind of a breeze out there, good circulation, they're going to be fine in the heat. Anita Garrett, okay, good. She updated on the calcium content. Layer feed should be a minimum 3.4 and max 3.6. So okay, yeah, I looked at mine, Anita, and I think it's 3 and 3.5 on the bag, I want to say, but I'll get a closer look at that. Anita knows, guys, so listen to what she says. Scott Eagle says hello from Michigan. Glad you could join us, Scott. Trucker Planet says, question, hi Terry, how are your outdoor quail handling the heat? They're indoors being lazy in the air conditioning. Let's see. Pit Smoke says, hello everyone. My name's Charlie. I'm new to raising Coturnix and watch a lot of Turner's Corner. Cool. Glad you're watching the videos. I hope they are helpful to you. If you have any questions, head over to the Coturnix Corner Facebook group if you're a Facebook person. If not, head over to coturnixcorner.com and join our community over there. We got a lot of great people in there that will help you out. They're really good. There's also links in there for the Coturnix Corner library. That's got a lot of links in the library to articles, videos, websites, just people that are in the know and know what they're doing. Underhill says, do y'all just use chick grit for your quail? I don't use any grit for mine because they're all on a layer crumble or a crumble feed, which is a water soluble feed, so you don't really need it. But if you're going to be feeding your birds, anything like grains, or I even heard somebody say that if you're feeding pelletized food, you want to make sure that you've got some kind of a grit. I would imagine chick grit would be just fine. Like I say, I don't use it, so. I can't pronounce your name, but hello from Ukraine. Pretty cool. Glad you could join us. Linda's in the house. Hello from Sacramento, California. I hope y'all are staying cool today. Yeah, not really, Linda. It's hot here. I can imagine what it is out in Sacramento. Lifestyle Turner says, when's the best time to hatch or what season works best? I hatch year round, and I don't really see any difference as far as seasons affecting, the hatchability or the hatch rates. They seem to do pretty good. I would imagine if you're worried about a season, springtime would be the best. That's the natural environment when most things start laying. But, everybody that I know that breeds a lot of birds and hatches out a lot of eggs, they breed year round. Shakti Poe says this seems to be a lot better than the last this test. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I figured out some of the settings in there. I don't know. I'm looking at the monitor over here, and it looks a little fuzzy now. Oh, I hope. Is anybody else seeing that? Are you seeing kind of a degraded image now? Oh, I hope not. Yeah, that's really weird. David says you might have to switch out comb with the foundation little by little so you can get the chemicals out of your hive. More important than splitting right now. Yeah, David, I'm not worried about splitting. that hive right now, like I say, with them still showing, some symptoms of poisoning. I did take out, there's no honey supers on there now. I pulled all them out, and I also took out all the frames that they were starting to draw out, and I replaced them with freshly disinfected and waxed frames. So, like I say, I haven't been in there recently, so we'll find out here pretty soon. I'm just skipping down. Okay, not fuzzy at all. Looks good here. Okay, cool. Maybe it's just my. Let me see if I can. No, that's still. Wow, that's weird. I wonder why on that computer it's showing like that. Uh-oh. Oh, I totally messed up, guys. All right, there's that. See, here we go again. Let me pull up the pop out. I got to copy a link again. I shouldn't have messed with it, but I did. I got to come back to this computer and paste that link in there. Technology, I'm so sick of it. Why can't things be simple like they used to be? All right, let's see if that didn't help any. All right, where was my last one? Oh, I lost some of my questions here. Hold on, I gotta. Oliver Cole. Okay, I gotta skip a few. Putting the video, the questions up, but Oliver Cole says finally got my family hooked on quail dinners. Cool. Pit Smoke says from Oklahoma. Joy Guthrie says I'm weighing my 8-week-old jumbos while I listened. Cool. Hope you get a whole bunch of them that make weight. RJ says how many incubators would be needed if I plan on doing 25 hens, 5 male breeders. One, if it's big enough. It all depends on how many eggs you want to hatch out. I would get. Oh wow, it's funny. Anita, I was reading your next comment about the feedback, and then I looked over at this computer, and it's back to looking good again. I wonder if that's a bandwidth issue. Let's see, where was I? Yeah, as far as the incubator, I would get an incubator that you'll be able to hatch out the amount of eggs that you want to be able to hatch out at one time, or even every month and a half, because it's going to take you 20 days. We'll figure that's on the high end from the time you put eggs in there till the time you can get them out and set another batch. So I've got 4 incubators and 1 big tall hatcher, so I don't run into that issue right now. Okay, I think that brings me down to Anita's comment, which I should be able to. All right, there we go. We're back in business on that. Getting sound feedback in between 33 and 35 minutes in. I got a feeling, Anita, that I had a bandwidth issue because it got fuzzy on my end. So who knows? The Steve B333 says eggs, please. Backyard Quail Keeper says, do you have any great suggestions for keeping the water from freezing during the winter? Had problems last year. I did have one idea to use a brooder heat plate as a water heater. There's a couple different things you could do depending on how big of a water system you have. We actually did a live stream here on the channel with a lady who talks about building a completely heated and circulated water system. You can check that one out. Or I talked to my brother-in-law, and he said he actually went and got a heated water. I guess it's just your standard poultry water, but it's got a heating element in the bottom of it. I'll find out more on that next time I talk to him. But yeah, and I guess too, it's gonna depend on really how cold it gets where you're at. I mean, if you're getting below zero on a regular basis, it might be a little bit harder than if you're only getting down to around freezing. So, Peggy says it looks good. Leah B says not fuzzy at all. Looks good here. Julie says, how's the humidity there? Here in South Central Texas, dew point is 75. That's about what we're running, 75 to 77 on the dew point. You can cut the humidity. You walk out the door, you can cut it with a knife. It's so thick. I actually just put a new air conditioner in our living room, and the other one just couldn't handle it. I mean, it's getting so hot now that, and we have a really big picture window in our living room, so that the heat's coming through. But yeah, we got a good one. Good incubator. Good air conditioner in there now, so we're staying cool. Lifestyle Trucker, I have a ratio of one rooster per 6 hens. Is that a good ratio? Yeah, I mean, one rooster can handle 6 hens. They can actually handle a little bit more than that, but the way you want to look at it is if you want really good hatch rates, you're going to want a lower ratio, like a 1-to-3, 1-to-4, and then if you want to be somewhere in the middle, go 1-to-5, 1-to-6. I know Tamara Roselle, she said she's got some that are 1-to-10 ratios and still do good. So, Springs, I don't know if I said your name right or not. Sorry about that. What ratio male to hens guarantees egg fertility? Well, you can't guarantee egg fertility, but you can, on average, get a better fertility rate using a smaller ratio. Like I just said, 1-to-3, 1-to-2, if you can do it that way. But I would say, even a 1-to-5, you should be fine if you got good, healthy roosters that are doing their job. Let's see, where did we go? I lost it again. Barry said, Terry, maybe it's your eyes, not the computer. It's very possible. Castle Hive's in the house. Howdy, howdy. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Glad you could join us. This is a test, Brian. We're testing out some new streaming software. I may have to go with a company that you recommended, but for now I'm testing out OBS to see if I can get away with doing it for nothing. Underhill says even technology used to be better. Yep. Garrett says bad sound feedback now just after you change something. I haven't changed anything other than the chat window. That should not have affected the sound. Is anybody else getting issues with the audio, with feedback? There is, she, in her next comment, it says it cleared up. I do have, and I can take it off real quick, if I can remember how to do it. I don't remember how to do it. Darn it. Maybe it's this one. Properties. Oh, anyhow, we'll mess with that. I do have a filter on there that filters out the background noise of the air conditioner, the fan that's running, so maybe that's doing it. Steve's in the house from Tampa. Water heater. Okay, Bob's saying to backyard quail breeders question. Water heater in the bottom of a 5-gallon bucket plugged into a thermo cube. Have a small recirculation pump. Okay, cool. What do you use to leg band your quail? I have both the regular poultry leg bands. I believe they are 6 millimeter for my smaller birds and 8 millimeter for jumbos. But I use colored zip ties. They're so cheap and they work so well, and you can pick them up pretty much anywhere. Okay, we just answered that. I use both leg bands and zip ties. Zenaida Gonzalez, first timer here. I'm currently saving to buy all my products to make my first set of quail cages because of you. Okay, cool. Congratulations. I take it you're going to be making the wire cages or even the wood frame cages. Cool. They work good. One thing I would recommend is using for your flooring. The best that I've used so far is the 1/2 inch by 1 inch coated wire. Especially if you're keeping jumbos, that's going to keep your birds from having any foot issues. It's also going to keep the wire clean because the manure can drop right through it. Leah says, how long would you keep hens if you're just using them for eggs? I was hoping for 1 year, or is it longer? Definitely 1 year. I mean, they'll lay pretty much every day for a year. I even had hens, not this year, but previous year, that went 1.5 years and were still laying, pretty regular. Mainly I kept those because they were pretty a good bloodline that I wanted to keep. Underhill says, I recommend a cattle tank heater. I use a small one in my 10-gallon chicken water. Okay, there you go. Bob says, I use the little zip ties, cut off the excess. Oliver says, if you're having a bigger water system, I feel like a fish tank heater and a holding bucket tank could be an affordable, adjustable, safe solution. Okay. Yeah, I guess it's going to matter how big your holding tank is, the reservoir, and then also you want some way of circulating it through the line so that those lines aren't sitting static, to where they can freeze up. James says, yesterday I was processing day for me. I pressure canned 250 whole quail. Good eating. Wow. Cool. Congratulations. Okay, everybody's saying audio is good. Willow says you sound fuzzy. Okay, there you go. First, my picture's fuzzy. Now I sound fuzzy. I don't know how to fix fuzzy sound. It's got to be one of the settings that I'm using. On the next one, I will turn off the filter. Julie says it's so hot here in Texas that I boiled eggs that were on the counter for 3 days. When I peeled them, they had eyes. Okay. You mean as in the quail starting to develop and had eyes? That's pretty strange. Lifestyle of Turkey says, I'm watching your live and taking care of my small quail farm. Cool. Turkey Planet says, question, what to do when my females are very aggressive? I have about 16 female quail. When I put their 3 males from different breeder, they started attacking these males, beat them up pretty bad. First thing I would do is go through and cull all of your aggressive birds. You can breed out aggression if you can select birds that aren't aggressive and breed out an aggressive line, but definitely get out the aggressive birds. If you're are you putting all 3 roosters in with all 16 hens? If so, maybe I'm taking it you've got a pretty good sized cage or an aviary. Maybe give them some hiding spots to where some of the less dominant birds can get away from the more dominant birds. And they're going to, I did it again, darn it. They're going to have a pecking order. When you first put them together, you are going to have some, birds. Yeah, you have to determine whether it's aggression or whether it's, just establishing a pecking order. I look at aggression as anything that's drawing blood. If they are, pecking at a bird and scalping and whatever, and, drawing blood, they're getting culled. If they're just, putting a less dominant bird in his place, I'll just keep an eye on them. Like I say, as long as they're not tearing them up, I don't really worry about them too much. But yeah, maybe a few more hiding spots in your cage to where the less dominant birds can get away. Maybe just take out the aggressors for now and see how the rest of them do. Well, by Thomas says, I've been searching for the live chat. I would like the Tumblr, please. Okay. Talking to me. Okay, Bob says, or Oliver says, you can get fish tank heaters in different gallon sizes. If you have easy access piping, you can insulate it with foam tubes. Okay, there you go. And Trucker Planet says, thank you for the advice. Absolutely. Now I just want to check over here and make sure that, okay, it looks like our chat is keeping up on both sides. All right, that brings us down to the bottom of the chat. We're coming up on an hour now, so we're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one. I need something to write with and something to write on. You can tell I was prepared for today's live, guys. Had to get some paper. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and get them posted now while I am selecting people for the chat. Let me restore this chat here so I can go back a little bit farther. Okay. Let's see. Amanda said, I can't put them up on the comments up there because I went back to the old comment chat room. But Amanda says, question unrelated to Quail. I keep catching glimpses of a guitar behind you. What is it? Which one? Oh, the Epiphone? That's an Epiphone. That's the Les Paul Studio. Let's see, Studio 3, I believe it is. That thing's more of a wall, more of a piece of art on my wall now. I play my acoustic a lot more than I play the electric anymore. But yeah, no, it's a good guitar. I like it. Quail by Thomas in the house is high from sunny Phoenix, 110 degrees. Wow. Bob Cole says, Terry, thanks for what you do to help everyone. Appreciate it. And no problem. Amanda says, quail question. I saw your backyard quail hutch build. How is the slanted tray system working out? Backyard quail hutch. Oh, okay. I don't have that cage anymore, but I do know which one you're talking about. Yeah, it worked out fine. What I ended up doing was I was using the I can't remember what they call that board for underneath the top tray. I actually switched that out and put metal roofing sheets on there. That seemed to hose off better, and the manure didn't stick as much as it did on those plastic. But yeah, I mean, it worked fine as far as caging. But I build so many cages and stuff, you know, especially for here for the channel. You know, I've built wood frame cages, all my wire cages, grow out pens, the cages outside, the aviary. I build a lot of that stuff for content for the channel. But I am down to, besides the aviary outside, I have one wood framed grow out cages, all wire cages, but in the wood frame, or yeah, in the frame that holds the wire cages. And then the rest of my cages are all hatching time cages. I really like them because they're so easy to keep clean. Let's see, Bob says tap the thumbs up. Yep, you can do that. Matter of fact, maybe I'll even do that. Ultima vermicompost. If I said that right. I built a couple of your grow out cages in 2 feet. They're durable, but haven't used them yet. Yep, they should be fine. They're talking to me. Willow says, question, is there an egg carton for jumbo eggs? Look up HP Murray over on Facebook. He is at Gopher Ridge Quail. I think you can go to his website, gopherridgequail.com, I think it is. He sells the jumbo plastic egg cartons. And I want to say that Matt Heydrich also does. I don't think Matt's got a website, but you can find him over on Facebook. Lifestyle Trucker says, I like watching your videos about quail. Kat says, hello from Wisconsin. Cool. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. All right. We're going to go ahead and pull the plug on this one because it is 8 o'clock. The guys that I call off your name, I need you to send me your shipping information. You can send it to Terry at Coturnixcorner.com. Let me put that in the chat. Oops, don't even know how to spell Coturnix Corner. There's my email address. Send me your shipping information. Make sure I get a, you know what? We got an extra winner tonight too, because I forgot about the $50 hatching time gift certificate. All right. So, again, email me your shipping information, name, address, a good phone number in case the breeder for the eggs needs to get a hold of you, and a good email address. So, Bob Cole, you are getting a $50 hatching time gift certificate. Lifestyle of a Trucker, you are getting a 20 count of Thieving Otter Farms eggs. Castle Hives, you are getting a Coturnix Corner tumbler as soon as I get one engraved up for you. And the Steve B333, you are getting a 30 count of Southwest Game Birds hatching eggs. So again, guys, make sure you email me your information, and we will go ahead and forward that on to the people that need that. So guys, I know it was an unscheduled live, but I want to thank you for joining me tonight. I think this was a pretty good test. I'm going to play around with the software a little bit more and see if I can't figure out some of the issues, like the audio issues and stuff like that. I do want to say, guys, for those of you who are still with me, if you're not already over on Coturnixcorner.com, which is the Coturnix Corner community, head on over there, sign up for the website. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff over there that I'm not going to be doing here on Facebook or through YouTube. We're going to have some giveaways and stuff over there, some different contests and whatnot. So, yeah, check it out. It's Coturnixcorner.com. And if you have any issues getting registered, shoot me an email and I'll help you walk you through it. So, again, guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be on time next week, so we'll see you. Actually, we might have a guest next week. I got to run a test. I actually talked to a couple of people that want to come on the show, and one of the guests actually said something about either next week or the following. So, yeah, But anyhow, I'll post it in the different social media groups and let you know. All right, everybody, have a great week and a great weekend. Stay safe.